Welcome to the RichKatRanch Roundup for today, Friday, the 7th of October. I have a couple of exciting guests on the show today. So I want to start, as I always do, by going over some stats for our member channels and channels who have been guests on the show prior to today's show. So I'm going to pull up my little spreadsheet where I keep track of subscriber counts, and we'll go over that together. So, starting with Runneth Over Garden and Life, this is Nina and Boyce. They were our first channel members, and they continue to enjoy a nice, steady growth pattern here. They were at 703 subscribers last Friday. They're at 708 today. Woman Outdoors, our next channel member, was at 913 subscribers last Friday. She's at 920 today. So obviously we like these numbers that we're seeing. Ordered Steps, still holding her ground. She did gain a couple of subscribers here a couple of weeks ago. So she's holding steady at 193 subscribers today. She did post a video in the last week. So be sure and check that out. Mind Fork, my friend Akashi Chris, whom I met live and in person. She and her husband, Stuart, actually paid a visit to RichKatRanch. They met and fed many of the animals. We had lunch together. She took some video and did a really fun crossover, a little fun crossover video. So if you haven't checked out Mind Fork's channel, check that out. A lot of great content there. And then look for the little RichKatRanch crossover video with her. Multi-hunter, my friend Nick, neighbor to us, a couple of miles west of RichKatRanch, was on the show probably 6 weeks or so ago now. He was at 513 subscribers last Friday. He's dropped one. We all know how YouTube works. This will be my little reminder to you guys that to be sure that when you intend to show support by subscribing to a channel, that you always watch at least one video of at least 3 minutes. I really try to just either start a playlist, or I just click the play all for their uploads and watch several of those before I subscribe. And then I continue to let the playlist or the uploads run after I've subscribed, just so YouTube knows I'm a real person, that I intended to click the subscribe button, that it's not a sub for sub situation, because that's sometimes where those disappearing subscribers go. I do want to take a second. I've seen a couple people come into chat, so let me say hello. So there is Nina. I see you there. There's Philip, my friend from the Late Late Horror Show at Frontier Studies. The Christian magician, thank you for being here today. I saw him this morning in Shane's live. So Great Farmer Freelance, looks like at least for now, their internet issues are sorted out. I know they've had power issues. He was hit by Hurricane Fiona. So they're still kind of dealing with the consequences of that. But it was good to see him back online doing his coffee shop this morning. And there's Ashley from CNC Farms. I do have Brettany in the green room waiting to come on. So I'm going to go through again my little opening segment here where we talk about subscriber growth, and then we'll bring her up and get to know her. So back to my spreadsheet. Mud and Mascara, Tiffany at Mud and Mascara Homestead. Again, this has been one of the most exciting growth slopes I've seen on the board, just because she has steadily been climbing and gaining nice chunks of subscribers week by week. Last Friday, she was at 294 subscribers. Today, she's at 319. And then there's our friend Byron at 12 Stones Ranch. This is another neighbor of ours. He's been here to RichKatRanch. He met the animals. He had dinner with us, and we had a wonderful time. What you see in his videos, that's really him. He's very genuine. He's very funny and brings just a beautiful amount of comic, elements to his videos. So while you're learning about things or watching him build something or repair something or cook something, you'll also get some nice little tidbits of just some humor here and there. So I thought last week that a big jump for him had probably happened because he participated in the Last Chance Cook-Off. And I do think that brought him some subscribers. But then it was pointed out to me that he attended the Pinecone Fest in East Texas a couple of weekends ago. And that coincided as well with this meteoric rise in subscribers. So it is possible. Anyone who wonders how you're ever gonna, hit your 1,000 subscribers or hit your 500 subscribers, be aware of events and things happening. Excuse me. Be aware of collaborations online in which you can participate, because the more you get yourself out there, the more you get your channel name out there, just the more people are gonna know you and learn about you and want to support what you're doing. So Byron, who had jumped from 278 subscribers 2 Fridays ago to 1,191 subscribers last Friday, has since jumped to now 1,970 something. I have the one there because, as I explained to you guys, I can only see the 1.97 when I go to his channel. So obviously with our own channels, we know exactly what the number is. At this point, it doesn't really matter. He's close to 2,000. I would love for you guys, if you have not already connected with Byron at 12 Stones Ranch, to go and show him some love, push him right along to that 2,000 mark, and we can all celebrate that together, because this is really fun for me to see these numbers. I'm a very numbers motivated person, and I do think particularly on YouTube that they are a measure of your effectiveness in getting your message out, and in putting yourself out there. So I am really digging seeing those kind of numbers on any of the channels that, are connected to RichKatRanch. Again, he's a geographic neighbor of ours. He's a friend of ours. He's a channel member. And I am just celebrating week by week with all of these channels. Our New Land, on the show 5 weeks or so ago, they were at 536 subscribers last Friday. They're at 541 today. I see Vicky from Psychology Noir with Dr. Lund is in the chat. Thank you for being here. And let me see what Philip says. What sucks is when someone makes a great video and it gets taken down because something silly like a few seconds of music in the background. So that's something to be aware of. And it is. Now, what's been a blessing for me is that when I have used content that might have a clip or an audio soundbite of something, when I'm uploading, I do have that little tool that runs the checks for me so that I know before I ever publish it whether or not it's going to be a copyright issue. So knock on wood, I have yet to have a video taken down. I do have some videos where I have to share revenue with whoever holds the rights to whatever's in my video, namely my cover song videos. So when I do a cover, obviously I have to use the music track for the song I'm singing. Some artists, I guess it's not a big deal, and the rights are, shareable. And so I've never had a strike, but I do have a couple of cover song videos where I have to share. If there's going to be any ad revenue come to me from that video, I have to split it with the rights holder for the music itself. So, feel free to reach out if you ever have questions for how that works and how you can be sure that what you're using is not going to be considered reused content that would result in a possible copyright strike. Copyright claims are not a big deal because when I share revenue, there's a copyright claim. It's just someone saying, hey, I own that song. So if you're going to use it, you're going to have to share with me whatever money you might make off of it. So back to my spreadsheet. There I go getting all squirrely, but thank you for pointing that out. And Philip Pinecone Fest was out in East Texas out toward Longview, Lake of the Pines. And it's just content creators. It's just a YouTube thing. I think this was the first year to do it. And it was just for YouTube content creators in the area to get together, meet each other face to face, have some fellowship, share ideas, get ideas, and kind of network themselves in a real life, situation. So looks like Brenda is here from Redbird Farm. Thank you for being here, Brenda. And next on my list is Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa. The Mod Father himself, he is in my chat. He is dropping links for you guys right now. If you ever see that he hasn't seen you come in and you'd like to have your link dropped, put a little message, you tag him in a message and say, hey, can you drop my link? So our channel encourages self-promotion, so to speak. So we want to know what's going on at your channels, and we want to share with each other so that we can introduce you to some prospective new viewers and subscribers and supporters. So let him know if you've got a channel that you'd like to share. Hello to Ralph at Webb's Web. So Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa, they were at 1,120 something last Friday. They were at 1,140 something today. So maybe Jesse will put a little note and tell us what that last digit really is. Ginger at Not For Nothing Homestead. Again, she was a guest on the show. She participated in the Last Chance Cook-Off. I know she's doing some Pumpkin Palooza stuff right now as well. So check out her channel because she's really got a knack for getting involved with these collaborations that are happening. And I'm telling you, it's just one of the best ways to get your name out there, because people that are looking at videos related to that event are going to have an opportunity to come across your video and meet you. I'll be doing Croctober this month. My video is set to premiere on the 18th. So put that little mental note in your head. So Ginger was at 212 subscribers last Friday. She's at 251 today. I like that number. Robin at What the Flock, guest on my show several weeks ago. She was at 333 subscribers. She's at 340 today. They are entering the season now where they have to start thinking ahead for winter for their animals. I know she recently put up a short video on winterizing the chicken coop. So if you've got outdoor animals and you want to start building up your arsenal of information on what to do to keep them safe and healthy this winter, check that out. I know a lot of us will be putting up videos for those kind of things as we get closer into cold weather. If we're lucky here in Texas, that cold weather will finally show up sometime around the first couple of weeks of December, but we'll see. First Floor Audio, my beautiful, talented, amazing friend and musician, Lee, graced many. I don't know how many of you that are here now were there, here on that day. If you haven't watched that RichKatRanch Roundup with Lee from First Floor Audio, when this one is over, please go and watch that one. I know you'll be as amazed as I am by his talent and his willingness to share it with us. So check that out. I think that was 2 episodes ago, maybe 3. But Lee was at 561 subscribers last Friday. He's at 563. I'll just tell you now, I don't understand why he doesn't have 10,000 subscribers. His music is that good, and he's just that amazing of a human being. So I encourage you to go and be blessed by what he has to offer there. Mayfield Ranch, Katie, on the show a couple of Fridays ago. She was at 349 subscribers last Friday. She's at 365 today. Rich at Rich New Design, one of my guests that same day, was at 244 subscribers last Friday. He's at 254 today. And then Jeff and Lorena from Back to Country Homestead, again, neighbors of ours. They're out by Lake of the Pines. They were also at Pinecone Fest. They were at 428 subscribers last Friday, and they are at 443 subscribers today. So we're going to look at first, before I bring Brettany up, we will spin for our channel of the week. Again, these are channels that, and I check all of these channels. So these are channels that have posted, I call it a long form video. So it can be 1 minute and 15 seconds even, but they have posted something other than a live stream or a short in the last 6 days since Sunday. And I just want to have some fun with this so that maybe at least from time to time, we'll have somebody pop up on my channel of the week wheel that you've never heard of. And you decide, oh, hey, yeah, I'll go check out their channel. As a favor to me, I do ask that you go and check out all of the channels that have been guests on the show or our channel members. I have already vetted them. They're nice people. They have good content. They're generous people. They're talented people. And there's room for all of us at the top. And the only way we're all going to get there is if we help each other and show support for each other. So I do want to encourage you to jot down some names. If you see someone in the chat today also that is new to you, check out their channel and then share their channel. If you've got a Facebook, if you've got a Twitter, an Instagram, if you have a channel of your own, do shout outs. It's very gratifying. It's really fun. And I get really tickled anytime I've mentioned a channel on the show here or in a video or on my community tab. Just to get a little thank you from someone it's very heartwarming to me. I see Joe and Sue from the Bud Files are here. So hello. There's my friend Pete. This is everyone's friend Pete, Scratch and Pete PA. Nicest person on YouTube, let me tell you guys. And he's everywhere all at one time, supporting everyone all at one time. A new friend from the Late Late Horror Show. There is Tom O, my coffee buddy. Tom always brings coffee and donuts to our overnight old time radio streams. So that we can have nourishment while we're up chatting and listening to these fantastic old shows together. But let's get busy. I'm going to spin this. I am going to spin this wheel, and we're going to see who our channel of the week is for today. And I'm going to remember then to put it on my scratch sheet, my spreadsheet. Scratch sheet. I was thinking of you, Pete. Good mythical morning. Okay, so that's really funny. That is not. I decided I was just going to open this up to all the channels on my list, except for all the Eagle live streams. Not that I'm not saying you guys should be watching Eagle live streams, because that is a really, really fun thing for me. There's some heartbreak that comes from time to time. It is nature. So I'll put that little disclaimer out for you. Okay. And look, see, Tom has brought coffee and donuts for everyone in the chat today. So if you have a donut request, let him know. But help yourself to some coffee and donuts. Sometimes in our little overnight chats, there's one room in particular I know where we've done this a lot, and we pretend like, somebody's working behind the bar that night, and we place our little drinks. So it's just it's a very virtual party kind of thing with some really nice people. Dino is very particular in a beautiful way about the behavior that he expects from chatters. And because of that, it's a safe place. It's a fun place. It's a warm place. A lot of welcoming people there, and you'll see a lot of regulars. So I'm going to just encourage you again to stop by the Late Late Horror Show. So good mythical morning. This is Rhett and Link, two friends from North Carolina, I think. We started watching them probably 7 or 8 years ago. They just get online and have fun and do silly things and food challenges and other kinds of challenges. It's a good family channel. If you haven't heard of them or you haven't checked them out, give them a try. There's lots of content because they've been on YouTube for a long, long time. These are not creators that I feel like need a boost as far as getting their name out or me giving them a shout out. And, even if all of you go and check out their channel, if they're new to you and subscribe, they're millionaires now because of YouTube. So they have a huge following. They won a Streamy 3 or 4 years ago. And that says a lot. If you don't know what the Streamies are, I'm not at a point where I'm dreaming about that yet, but that's the biggest honor you can get as a YouTuber. So I will get Brettany in here now. We're going to meet her, ask a few questions. Let me pull her channel up too so that I have it ready. And here she comes. Hello, and thank you for being on the show.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So what time is it there?
It is 12:19 here in California.
So you're in Northern California, right?
No, more Central Southern California.
Okay.
Yes.
And so winter, do you get snow?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I kind of wish we would, but no, we don't. We never get snow. I think my whole life we've only had snow here on our valley floor once, maybe twice.
Okay. So you have outdoor animals, yes?
Yes. We have sheep, rabbits, chickens. We've had a pig in the past. We hope to get another pig, hopefully here soon. But yes, outside animals for sure.
So does it get cold enough though that you have to worry about winterizing pens and coops and things?
No, not really. We rarely kind of drop below freezing point. Maybe a little frost in the morning, but not too cold. So we're pretty lucky here. It's a great area. It stays relatively hot most of the time, but it's comfortable.
Okay. And how far are you from the ocean?
We are about a 2.5 hour drive.
Okay, that's close. I mean, I would call that close. And Philip, are you in Santa Barbara, Philip? And hello to Papa's Kitchen. I sent you an email, Papa's Kitchen. Check your emails. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. Sometimes people will have a question as soon as I bring someone in. Y'all, and post your questions. If you'll put a little icon, some kind of little picture or something, so that maybe it'll catch my eye. That way I won't miss it if there's something you want to ask Brettany. So how long have you been homesteading?
We have been, well, the property that we live on is actually a property that I grew up on. We have bought it from my parents probably about 8 years ago. So we have been homesteading here for about 8 years.
Wow. I would call you kind of an expert then at this point.
I don't know if we're really an expert, but we definitely, always try our best.
And do you ever look back and wish you hadn't started that journey?
No, I don't think so. Our original plan was actually to move out of California. We wanted to move to Montana and kind of live in the middle of nowhere and completely be off grid. But that didn't end up happening. And we ended up staying here and purchasing this property. And so we're doing everything that we wanted to do here. So, I mean, we're happy where we're at the moment. We, want to try to grow as much food as we can and provide for our family. So where we're at right now is just, it's a wonderful situation. It's a wonderful place.
Nice. I know enough about Montana to know that if you had moved to Montana, you would definitely be winterizing pens and coops.
Yes. We wanted to move somewhere that there was some snow, but after, looking back now, I am kind of glad we didn't choose Montana. I've actually never been to Montana. We were planning on driving and checking it out and then going from there. But I don't really do that great in the cold. Our summers are in the hundreds for days on end. So we get hot here. So freezing weather, I don't know if that would really be my cup of tea.
Well, I'm learning something new then about Central California, because I just think of it being so moderate there. I've only been to I've been to Sacramento. That's as far north as I've been. And it just seems like when I've been to Southern California, it's always the same thing. It might have rained one time ever when I've visited there, but temperature wise, I could be in a short sleeve t-shirt during the day and then put on a light sweater at night. And I don't think it was ever any different any time that I visited. So,
okay.
Though,
here in the valley, I mean, temperatures have been changing a little bit. I think it's a little bit warmer now than, years ago. But here, I mean, for the last couple of years, we stay in the hundreds quite a bit. It's hot. And then in the winter, it does cool down. You got to wear a sweatshirt, but it's normally not too cold. But we have a fireplace, so we still have fires in the winter to keep our house warm. So that's nice.
Well, I would have a fire every day of the year if Richard didn't give me a hard time about it. There's just something very calming to me about a fire. So.
Oh yes, I can't wait until fire season. I'm the fire maker in our family because I'm usually the one that wakes up earlier.
Yeah, me
so
too.
I get up, start a fire, drink some coffee by the fire. Oh, it's one of my favorite things.
Part of the reason I'm the fire maker too is because I'm the one that cracks the whip about the thermostat getting messed with. And so I would rather get the fire going and just keep it going and have the house nice and warm because of that. Because Richard is the kind that he just has to flip a switch or crank that thermostat up or down just because it's there.
Yeah.
So I try to be proactive about that so that I can keep the house comfortable so that he doesn't feel compelled to do that. You have a hello from Ginger at Not For Nothing Homestead.
Hi, Ginger.
You have a question from Jesse at Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa, who wants to know what's the status of your mule 4-wheel workhorse.
Okay, so we called the company. So basically we had a golf cart and we used the golf cart daily. It is our work rig. And our engine started smoking, and we've already messed with it so many times. It needs to be rebuilt. So we decided to send it off to a great person that rebuilds these engines. So they are professional in it. And we had to send it to Missouri. So over 2,000 miles away, we had to box it up and send it off. So we contacted them and asked them, hey, did you guys get it? And they did. We were number 80 in line. I guess there's a lot of other people that are trying to rebuild their golf cart motors. And so we are probably, I would say maybe 60 in line now to actually get it rebuilt, but they did receive our engine. So now it's just a matter of waiting for them to actually tear it apart and then replace everything that it needs.
My guest last week has had things break down and has just made himself learn how to fix them.
Yeah, well, my husband has already, when we first got it, the engine was smoking, so he replaced the rings on the piston. So he already has gone into it and done some work, but the crank is loose in the motor. So it's more to it. It actually needs some boring of the cylinder and some other things done. So we're so busy that Ronny decided, you know what, I'm going to just let somebody else take care of it. And so that way we'll actually get back a motor that is brand new. So that's kind of nice.
Have they been able to give you an estimate at all on when that might happen?
We're looking at probably 3 to 4 months, possibly sooner. But I mean, so that's where my husband, Ronny, actually kind of put this back section, a 3-point bed is what he called it, on the back of our tractor, which is the tractor that we got for the Loofah Lady. So that way she can collect all of the loofahs and do all Loofah Lady stuff. So it's a smaller tractor than our tractor, which is our second tractor that we have. So we are using her as our makeshift golf cart right now. My husband's driving it around and picking up stuff and moving stuff around. So at least we have something to help us do the work that we need to get done.
Good. Well, hopefully there will be a video coming soon, though, with an update that you've got a date sooner than 3 or 4 months to get that back.
Yes.
Let me make sure there aren't any more questions, and then I'll have some questions for you. But I will ask you while I'm looking through the Philip says, not good if your mule is smoking.
Yeah, no.
In any sense, however you want to interpret that, that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
So I know you have kids. How many kids? How old?
We have 2 kids. We have Kaylin, our daughter, which is 11, and then Gage, our son, which is 9.
And do they help on the homestead?
Oh, yes. Okay. They have chores, daily chores. So my daughter has rabbits. It's kind of her little pet hobby that she has going on. She actually breeds rabbits and then sells them and then uses that money to help care for her rabbits. Okay. So it's just kind of, something, it's teaching her how to not only care for rabbits, but also how to make an income, in some way, entrepreneur. Nice. So she takes care of those. And then she also helps, feed and water our chickens and our sheep. Same with Gage. He helps do that as well. And then when we do any gardening, they definitely get their hands dirty, planting seeds, harvesting, picking weeds. And then same thing with the loofahs that we grow. They help us not so much pick the loofahs, just because loofahs bring in a lot of pollinators. So there's a lot of bees. So reaching into the vines and picking the loofahs, the kids are a little worrisome for that, and I don't blame them. So we pretty much, Ronny and I go through, pick all of our loofahs off the vine, set them down, and then the kids go through and pick them up, and then they help peel and clean and all of that. So they help out a lot around the property.
Good. There's some good life lessons there.
Yeah.
Just how to be functional when you're grown and on your own. Yes. So moving on to kind of my general questions that I always ask. What motivated you to start a YouTube channel?
So basically I had gone back and looked at a lot of pictures that I had of the kids growing up, and I have plenty of pictures, but I didn't really have a whole lot of recordings of them. So when they were younger, cameras weren't as good as, well, you could get a camera, but phone recording definitely was not as good as what it is nowadays. The videos are all glitchy and just horrible quality. And we decided, you know what, let's start recording some more of the kids so that way we can look back and we can see them, and it's something that they can go back and look at and watch themselves. And then, you know, we watch a lot of YouTube ourselves. So we were watching other people on YouTube doing stuff, and we're like, hey, you know what? We do so much stuff around our property all the time, and we're already recording little things of our kids doing stuff. Why not start recording the stuff that we're doing around our property so we can look back and see it? And then also our kids can look back and see it. And then maybe someday our grandkids and great grandkids. So, you know, it's kind of, we want to leave a legacy behind for our kids. We want them to have something when Ronny and I aren't here anymore. And so even if that something is being able to go back and watch us and hear our voices and see how we interacted with them, I mean, I think that is completely amazing. And then the same thing for our grandkids, great grandkids, they can go back and be like, oh, look, there's grandma riding on a tractor. So I think that it's just really cool to be able to document our lives.
That's a very exciting part of it. Yes. When did you upload your first video to the channel, and what was the video?
So our very first video was actually my husband's military truck. It's a M35A2, or also called like a deuce and a half. And it is a military truck. And my husband actually built it. So they come originally as a just a single cab. So just two doors with one bench seat. And when we were planning on moving to Montana, my husband needed a truck. And so he decided, I'm going to build this huge military truck. So he crew cabbed it. He got another cab from a different military truck and spliced it together and made it to where it's a crew cab. It's 4 doors, 2 bench seats. And we call it the Ark. Just, you know, if it was going to save us from our life, I guess, here in California and travel up to Montana, but we ended up not doing that, but we still call it the Ark. And so we decided, hey, let's make a little video of it. And so our very first video is actually just a walk around of this military truck with some music playing. And there's a couple little clips of it actually driving. But that was our first video. And then I think after that, the next video, I think, is us replacing a fence that our garbage truck actually somehow attached to and tore down and pulled down the street. So we replaced that fence line.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I guess if you guys are thinking you're having a bad day, just remember what kind of stuff can happen. So Ginger has a question for you. How did you come up with Poo-Pourri? I love it.
Well, there are actually other brands of Poo-Pourri. And I took a short-term job at a office a few years ago. And I had never heard of Poo-Pourri at the time, but I went into the restroom, and it was a very, very nice office and a very, very nice restroom. And they had this little spray that was just sitting on the back of the toilet. And I picked it up and read it, and I was like, oh, wow, this is Poo-Pourri. So when you use the restroom, you can spray it either in the toilet or just in the room, and it, you know, just covers anything up. And I thought that was amazing. And so I made my own version of it, and my son uses it, which I actually super appreciate because our house is a smaller house. So, you know, somebody uses the restroom. It's nice to go in there and it smell fresh and amazing. So, so we made our own version of Poo-Pourri, and I think it works pretty well.
Sweet. And hello, I don't know if this is Jeff or Lorena or both. Don't worry, we start from where we are, so there's not really a late unless you're here after the stream has ended. Even then, still great. You can watch, be part of the replay team. So thank you for being here, Jeff and Lorena. And let's go ahead and talk about the Loofah Lady, because I know we mentioned it, and then I think it was Philip that asked, what is a Loofah Lady? I've got your website pulled up. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up.
Okay.
You can tell us about what you do as the Loofah Lady.
All right. Well, so a loofah is actually a sponge, and you can grow it in your own garden. It is related to a cucumber. And it grows on a vine, like similar to a cucumber would, and it has these beautiful yellow flowers. And so when the vine grows, you'll end up with these small, kind of gourd-looking little things. And when they're smaller, you can actually eat them. They're used in a lot of traditional Asian cuisine. And as the gourd continues to grow, it will actually get fibrous on the inside. And so you let the gourd just finish growing on the vine. It'll go from a dark green color to like a lime green color to a yellowish brown color. And the yellowish brown color is actually the perfect time to pick it off of the vine and peel it. You can let them dry out completely to where they turn completely brown. Those you might actually have to soak in water just so you can peel the skin off. But once you get the skin off of the loofah, you have yourself this amazing body sponge. You just rinse it out with some water, and you can cut it to whatever size is best for you. And you can use it in the shower to wash yourself. We also embed it into some soaps, so that way you get like a soap bar with a loofah in it. And then also some of the loofahs are a little more coarse, so you wouldn't want to use them maybe on your body just because they would be a little harsh. And those ones we actually use for dish sponges. So you can replace your dish sponge with a loofah. So they're eco-friendly, biodegradable. They're super durable. They last for a long time, and it's amazing. You can grow your own sponge. I'm blown away by it, even though we've been growing them for so many years.
Sweet. So there's a question also from Nina at Runneth Over Garden and Life. Do you garden? So we know you grow loofahs right now. Do you garden? If yes, how do you keep them going with your high heat?
So we do garden. We grow, tomatoes and potatoes and peas, and I mean, pretty much anything that we eat on a regular basis, we grow. Garlic, watermelon, just all kinds of a different variety of things. And for our high heat, we just kind of strategically think about the best time to water. So we water usually early mornings or sometimes late evenings, just depending on how hot it is. And we are constantly out in our garden and checking on everything. So as far as our loofahs go, they actually like high heat. And so they do perfectly fine, except for on the days where it's like 110. The leaves might kind of shrivel up a little bit. And so on those days, we know, okay, we need to water in the evening as soon as it's cooled down. So that way it'll just kind of pep them back up and bring them back. And then once they get a drink of water, then they're back and they're perfectly fine. And so we kind of do the same thing with the rest of our garden. We just keep an eye on it, make sure that we're watering it. I know some places don't have to water at all, which I find is amazing. I've watched some YouTubers and they're like, oh, we had to drag a hose over and water. But for us, we water daily, pretty much all of our garden items, just because if we don't, then they will dry up and die.
The universal problem with anyone that has hot summers. Yeah.
Where
would you like to take the channel? If you could choose like your ultimate vision for your channel, if all you had to do was wish for it to happen, what would you wish? What would that channel look like? What do you want to do with it?
I mean, I don't know. I guess one thing that Ronny and I are trying to do is we're trying to figure out a way that we could actually record daily, because we have so much going on our property that we have projects that we do every day. We're constantly in the garden. We're constantly messing with our animals. We're doing something all the time. And so recording daily would be something that we would love to do, just do like a daily vlog. But we run into the issue of editing. Editing takes a while, depending on, what you do. So if you do a big project, it takes a long time to cut everything up and put it into a video and make it just mesh together nicely. So I think figuring out a way to record daily and be able to edit it and be able to get it out for everybody is something that we are working towards. So it's just, you just we're just trying to figure it out. But I would say that would be possibly the future of our channel, is recording daily and vlogging daily.
Do you do live streams?
No, this is actually my only second live stream.
Okay.
And so no, we haven't done our own live streams.
So that might be a way you could get some vlogs in every now and then, though, is just take people along and do it. We always call them pop-up lives.
Yeah.
Although yours could be more of a regular live thing and just go out, and one day you're tending to the animals in the mornings and taking us along, and other days you could do Q&A and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's actually a fantastic idea.
Maybe an opportunity for that. Dr. Lund is wondering if you use solar panels on your homestead.
So we should. We have solar panels. So again, back when we were planning on moving to Montana, we were planning on being off grid. So we purchased solar panels. So we actually have quite a few of them stored in my husband's shop. And so we really want to get those up on our building and get them hooked up to at least take off some of the load from either our house or my husband's shop, or even our well, because we are on a well. So even taking off that load of electricity, actually going through the Edison company, would be nice. So we do have solar panels. It's just a matter of us having the time to put them all out there, hook them all up, and all of that. So that is a future project that we will be doing. But we do have them. We just have to hook them up.
Okay. And Ginger wants you to know that your shower steamers are amazing. So by way of Ginger wanting Brettany to know that, you guys need to realize that her shower steamers are amazing. So when you go to the loofalady.com, order yourself some shower steamers. I think I saw another question. Let me see if I can find it.
And thank you, Ginger. The shower steamers are like one of our top sellers, especially right now with allergies and you know, colds, anything like that. They work great for congestion. So I'm happy that you like them, Ginger.
Sweet. And then Brenda at Redbird Farm wonders about growing loofahs if you have cows. To grow loofahs, do cows try to eat them if planted on the fence row?
So I've never had, well, when I was a little kid, we had a cow. But as of right now, we haven't grown our own cow. I don't know if a cow would eat them or not. I know our sheep, in the beginning, we didn't think our sheep actually liked loofah vines because we had them out and they never tried to eat them. And then they broke out once and they attacked our loofah vines. They pretty much just they ate the loofah gourds off of the vine. But what we have found out is that they actually love the loofah vines themselves. So we go through and we trim up our loofah vines because if not, they'll grow everywhere on the ground. And we don't want that. So we trim them up and we feed them to our sheep kind of as a fodder. And so I know sheep love them. Rabbits will eat them too. I'm not sure about cows. I think cows might possibly be a little pickier, but I'm not positive. So it's something that you would just have to try for yourself to find out.
All right. And here's a tip from Ginger. Core planting. And is this what you do, Ginger? Because Ginger grows loofahs as well and has had some like unbelievably big loofahs. I didn't even know loofahs could get so big. Some of the loofahs that she's grown. And so maybe you'll know what this means. Is this Michigan gardener core planting method would save so much time and watering for the Loofah Lady. I have high heat and it has been amazing for us.
Oh, okay.
So
I'll have to look into that. I've never heard of core planting method.
Yeah. So if there's a tip maybe that you can take along and boost your productivity by trying something new.
Yeah, that would be great.
And so we know you have a website, theloofalady.com.
Yes.
Are you on other social media?
Yes, we are on Instagram and we are on Facebook. So we actually have two different, we have the Loofah Lady Instagram and the Loofah Lady Facebook. And then we have our channel, RB Story, Ronny and Brettany on Instagram.
Okay. Again, let me share this website with you guys so you can look at the web address there. It's just theloofalady.com. There is an H on the end of the word loofah. I know I've been real tickled. I want to say, I mean, it seems funny to me that I wouldn't have known where loofahs come from, but Robin growing loofahs at Not For Nothing Homestead, the first loofah video I saw of hers is when it was one of those, I was today years old when I realized, or when I learned where loofahs come from. So all kinds of great products here. This is healthy stuff. This is homegrown stuff. You guys should check it out. And let's look at your channel together right quick as well.
Okay.
And tell me if you have any channel product or channel projects coming up, or
so some of the projects that we have is just going to be getting our fall garden into the ground. We planted our seeds, and a lot of it grew, some of it didn't. So it when we planted all of our seeds, we had thought that, hey, the high heat's over. This is awesome. Let's plant our seeds. And once they, sprout and get going, then we'll plant them out in the garden. Well, what ended up happening was it got hot again. And it got hot for over a week straight, up into the hundreds. And so some of our little seedlings we ended up losing, and then some of them are still growing and doing great. So we still need to get what did sprout into the ground, and then also direct sow some new seeds. So our fall garden is something that's going to be happening soon. I'm also part of Croctober. I heard you say that you were part of Croctober, and I did see your name on the list of participants.
Okay.
And so that's another thing that's going to be coming out is our Croctober crock pot recipe that will go live on the 25th.
Okay.
And so that's one other thing. And then I know we have other things around the property that we're wanting to do. We have, we call it a sea train, but it's more just like a truck, like a big semi truck bed thing that we have out back that we put all of our animal feed in. And we're going to be moving that and making more room for our raised bed garden that we're going to be building for this coming spring. So there's a lot going on still on our property. And then hopefully the golf cart engine will be back. And so my husband can put that back into the golf cart and we'll have her back up and going. So there's a lot of different things going on, but those are a few of them.
Do you know off the top of your head how many animals you have?
My goodness. We have over 20 chickens. We have 4 sheep. We're hoping to get a ram soon. We've said that a few times, but whenever we're ready to get one, we can't find one. And so we're hoping to get another male sheep. So we have 4 sheep, and then my daughter has, I think, 17 rabbits, 3 dogs, a hamster, I think 5 cats. So, and upwards of like over 30 animals, probably.
Okay. Yes, you're a kindred spirit. What kind of dogs do you have?
We have Arvin, which is a German short-haired pointer. She's my dog. We have Whiskey, which is my husband's Queensland. And it's funny because we named her Whiskey. And then as she grew up, we realized that she can't hold her liquor because she licks you constantly. So her name actually goes perfect with her. And then we have a new puppy, which has turned out to be my dog as well. She's a Queensland, and her name is Loofah.
Okay. Oh, that works, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys get to travel much? I know we're very much homebodies now just because we have a lot of animals. Do you get to go away? And when you go away, who takes care of the animals?
We don't travel that much at all. I wish that we could, but we just have so much going on between the loofahs because we're constantly having to harvest and clean those during the summer months. And then we always have a garden, and then we have our animals too. So if we do go anywhere, we usually ask my mom to come and help take care of the animals. Or turn on watering. Most of our plants are on like a timer, which makes it a lot easier than constantly having to go out and water things by hand. So a lot of the watering is taken care of. It's just a matter of like picking everything, all the produce, and then if it's the loofahs, we have to clean them. But we're hoping to go on a few more vacations in the future. We're right below the Sierra National Forest. So, I mean, it's a 2-hour drive up into the mountains and it's a 2-hour drive to the coast. So we're actually centrally located right between two amazing places to go. So if we do go on any vacations, though, we'll be sure to bring you guys along with us.
It, yes. Eve, do you know, or Ginger, do you know what is the biggest loofah on record?
I know for us, our largest one that we've grown so far is 24 inches, so 2 feet. That has been our longest one. We are constantly looking for the biggest loofah, but I do know that there are different species of loofah, and there are some that get really, really long, and I'm talking like 4 feet, maybe even 5 feet long. But the problem with that is they're not all equal. So there's some loofahs that are like a ribbed loofah, and those are really tough. And so those wouldn't be something that we would want to grow, because then you can't use it on your body. And that's our whole point of loofahs. We're trying to save the seeds from our best, softest, biggest loofahs. So then that way you can use them on your body, because that's the best thing that a loofah is for. And then also there's some loofahs that are really small at the top and then really large at the bottom. So then you have this weird shaped loofah. So for us, the species that we have, that we grow, is the perfect one for us. But hopefully we'll continue to get larger ones if we continue to keep the seeds from our biggest ones.
Sweet. And so at this point now, I mean, generally there's questions that come through the chat throughout the interview, but does anyone else have questions for Brettany about their homestead, about growing loofahs, about California? And we'll see if anyone's got questions. And if not, hey, Chuck, there's Chuck at Life with Belinda and Chuck.
Hi, Chuck.
Sure I didn't miss someone else coming in. I hope I didn't miss. If I've missed you coming in, sorry that I've missed you coming in. And thank you, Brenda, for the reminder for folks to give us a like. If you haven't smashed that like button for me, I would appreciate you filling in your little thumb down there. There's Denny, another of my Late Horror Show friends. How are you? That's RTN Productions that you see in the chat there, guys. No questions. Do you have questions? Brettany, do you have questions about me, my channel, YouTube, something somebody said in the chat?
Well, actually, I see that I think Chuck had posted something. He said, what do y'all grow during the winter? So for us in the winter, we grow cauliflower, broccoli, all of our leafy vegetables, like lettuce, and then carrots grow well here. Also, we usually plant our garlic and our onions, and then squash as well. So those are the things that we grow mostly in the winter. Frontier Studies also asked if we're going to get goats. I don't know if we're going to actually end up getting goats. My parents had goats when I was a kid, and they were kind of constantly getting out and causing issues. So I know my daughter would like to get a goat because she wants to get into possibly like FFA or 4-H. And maybe show a goat. So that might possibly be something in the future. But as of right now, no goats are in the future. Pigs are in the future, though, because we need something to eat any of our leftover scraps or garden produce that we don't want to eat, because sheep will only eat so much. But pigs are in the future for sure.
Do you raise meat animals?
So we've raised the pig in the past that we raised was it went into our freezer. And then we've had turkeys that we've processed, and then also meat chickens, which we plan on doing turkeys and meat chickens again. It's something in the future that we're hoping to get back into, because the turkey and the chickens was amazing. They were so good. The pig, on the other hand, our pig ran a lot of our property. So I think it ended up being like just more too muscly in a way. I don't know. It was still good. We ate it. It filled our freezer. But we want to mostly grow the pig to just eat all of our leftover stuff, because I hate throwing stuff away. That's never a good thing. Or it'll go into our compost. That ends up being one of our biggest issues. Most of our leaves or grass or anything we feed to our sheep, more so than put in our compost. So
All right. So, any other questions? From Nina, what got you to start your Loofah Lady business?
Well, like a lot of people, I didn't realize that you could grow a loofah sponge. And so a friend actually gave me the seeds because she knew that we grew so much of our own food and we loved to garden. So I tried planting those seeds. Unfortunately, those ones did not sprout, but I was so intrigued by it that I purchased my own seeds and then started growing them. So we grew them for family and friends, and everybody loved the loofahs. And no one here super local to us grew loofahs. And we've always wanted to do something on our property to also generate some extra income. And so we thought, hey, you know what? Let's try to grow loofahs and just see what it does. And so we started growing loofahs. We started out with just a little bit, and then we ended up having 500-foot rows. And then now we actually have 700-foot rows of loofahs. Possibly more in the future. We'll just see. And then, so we turned it into a business, and then all our other products, the soaps, the salve, the chapsticks, all of that was pretty much because we made it for ourselves. We like to know what goes into all of our body products. Your body is your biggest organ, or your skin is your biggest organ. So what you put on it is actually really important. Just what you put in it is just as important. So all of that stuff was made because I know the ingredients that's in it.
Nice. And then one other question before I let you go, because I've got Ashley in the background. What's the lowest temperature that loofahs can grow in?
They don't like freezing whatsoever. So they are a summer item, a summer plant to grow. So for us, we plant after our last frost date, which is normally the end of March, beginning of April, and then they'll grow all summer long. And then as soon as we hit our first frost, the vines will actually die. So for us, that's not until November. And so they don't like any freezing temperatures whatsoever. As soon as it starts cooling down and starts getting, into like the 40s, our leaves end up, they kind of start dying back a little bit. So they don't like the cold.
So don't be surprised now if you start seeing a bunch of people with videos about growing loofahs. I can hear the wheels turning as people are learning about growing loofahs. And again, maybe a lot of them were like me, who didn't even realize you can grow loofahs. I don't know where I thought they came from, except that I do think I assumed they were artificially made.
Oh, okay. Well, a lot of people, because I go to a bunch of local markets and I, talk to people about loofahs and everything. And a lot of people think of sea sponges. I'm like, yes, you can still get sea sponges, but these are actually grown in a garden. And on our website, we actually sell our own seeds. So we not only save our seeds for ourselves to grow for the next year, we also grow or we sell our seeds to anybody that wants to try to grow loofahs, because it's amazing. So our own very own seeds from our very own best loofahs are for sale on our website. So if you ever want to try to grow your own seeds, we offer free shipping on all of our loofah seeds. And then also on our website, we offer free shipping on any order over 25 as of right now.
Sweet. So you guys have lots of reasons to check out the website and the YouTube channel. Thank you again for being my guest today. I was so excited to get the heads up about you from Ginger at Not For Nothing Homestead. You have a great thing going there. I just enjoy your energy and your spirit and all that you're sharing with us through your videos.
Thank you.
And I'll be watching your numbers. You're going to be on my spreadsheet now. From here on out, let's see. Let me pull up that little thing and we'll share it right quick, and then we'll bring Ashley up. So you were at 338 subscribers last Friday when I jotted down a number, and you're at 354 today. So with each Friday, I'll do an update and we'll see where things stand for you.
Awesome.
Again, I'm just really excited to meet you today. I'm excited that you agreed to be on the show with me and just give us an opportunity to get to know you. And I'll be excited to watch you growing and spreading out. And I'll be watching for some live streams.
Awesome.
Maybe some vlogging.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me.
Have a wonderful afternoon.
You too.
Oops, I cut her off a little too fast there. Sorry about that, Brettany. And Denny, thank you so much for the super chat. That's amazing. Also want to say my friend Weaves World is here today. This is another great channel, guys. Check it out. He offers pretty much everything that Weave does at Weaves World is to entertain his audience, is to provide a fun place to go and know that you're going to have, you know, just a positive experience. There's always a lot of laughter. His lives, he'll do quizzes and things like that for his lives, and it's just never disappointing. So check that out, please. Go show him a little love and just see what he has to offer, because again, it really is a fun time. And let me see if I've missed anyone else coming in. I see Back to Country said they're going to start growing loofahs, so that's fun. But let's bring Ashley up now. Here comes Ashley. Let me take my little thing off of here. How are you?
How are you, Kathy?
I'm good. So tell me geographically first. Remind me where you are.
We are in Missouri. We are in, I'd say, south central Missouri.
Okay. So you get winter there.
Oh, we do. We do. Yes.
So do you have outdoor animals that you have to be concerned about protecting from the cold?
Well, currently we just have one rabbit. We are in the process of building our chicken coop. So now we're kind of up in the air if we should just wait until after winter to get the chickens, or if we should just go ahead and get them now, you know, all that. So right now we just have one rabbit, and if it gets too bad, we just bring him in, bring the whole cage in our back room of our house.
Okay.
So
it's just interesting to me because, again, we don't have to think about winter for a good while, but I know there are parts of the country, parts of the world where people are already prepping, and I didn't think about that, except that there've been some videos coming out already, and I thought, wow, that's right. Some people really do get winter, and it really does start around the time you think winter would start. And aside from our little freakish snowmageddon thing that happened last year, we just usually have very mild winters here. We rarely get snow. We do get ice every now and then, but usually the events are pretty short-lived. So, but again, thanks for being on the show with me today. I was excited that you were going to be available. And let me make sure I haven't missed anyone coming in. So this is Ashley from CNC Farm in Missouri. And I'll ask you too, because I know you've got at least one child, because I've seen a child in some videos. Do you have other kids too?
Yes, we have a 2-year-old and we have a 19-year-old.
Okay.
She's about to turn 20, so we're about to have a 20-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Wow. So has that been a blessing, though, to have a big gap between the kids?
Oh, it has, really, because when I'm sorry, hang on one second. We're not going to go outside right now. Okay. He woke up from his nap a little bit early. We're not going to go outside right now. In a little bit, we'll go outside, okay? You want to sit up here with me? Okay.
You can say hi. Say hi.
Can you say hi?
I see you. What is your name?
Colton, he said.
Colton. It's good to meet you, Colton. It's good to meet you. My name is Kathy, but you can call me Kibby because my grandkids call me Kibby. So Mommy and I are going to visit for a little while. Is that okay?
Okay. You go get your snack. So yeah, it has been a blessing. When I was working full time with our first one. Luckily, my mom was able to watch her, so she didn't have to go to daycare, daycare center and all that. So that was a blessing. But I missed out on everything. I just missed out on everything. My mom would take her to do the pictures with Santa, the Christmas cookies, and when she'd come home then at night, she didn't want to do any of that. She, Grandma had her going all day. She was done.
Yeah, it's
and
tough.
So, in that time frame, then last year we purchased our property and moved, and our company right before that was going through an acquisition. right before COVID hit. We were going through an acquisition. So I had been with my company for over 20 years, ended up losing my job during the acquisition, and COVID hit. I still hadn't found a job with COVID. And then we had him. So we're like, you know what? Now it's just time. Let's just pull the trigger. Let's just go. And so I've been able to stay home with him, and it's been awesome. So I couldn't ask for anything more.
Well, so there's some good then to come out of the last couple of crazy years we've all been through.
Exactly.
And I want to say hi to Troy. Troy at Bayou Bengal is in my chat today. Thank you for being here. Hello, if there's someone else that's come in that I've missed. So regarding your channel, what motivated you to start your YouTube channel?
Well, again, it was kind of like Brettany. Once we had this little one, I was like, we are older parents now. So I want to, who knows how long we're going to be around. Not that I'm old, but we're way older than we were with our first one. So I kind of wanted to start documenting that for him. And then looking back, my daughter was born in 2003. So, still had the big, huge video cameras. The small ones are just coming out. And we do have some footage, but not anything like what you can do now.
Yeah.
So pretty much, he was pretty much my motivation to start doing it. And then it worked out conveniently. We purchased the property, started a homestead. It just kind of all went in. Buddy.
Did you grow up kind of a country girl or city girl?
I grew up a city girl. My grandparents, though, did butcher hogs, had the huge gardens. So I did experience that. But I grew up in a city. We actually grew up about 20 minutes outside of St. Louis. So it was city.
Okay. And are you from a big family or yourself?
No, I just have one. I have one sister. She's about 7 years younger than me, and it's just me and her.
Okay. And does she live close? Do you get to see her?
Yeah, we do. We see each other not quite as much. She's about 3 hours from me, but she's still in the same state. So,
okay. Nice. And tell me when you uploaded your first video and what was the video?
It's been about 2 months since we uploaded our first video, and it was just a walk around our garden and me kind of just talking about what we are planning on doing and kind of who we are. It was a rough video. Looking back at, we don't have that many videos. I think we've got about 55 videos. A lot of them, some of those are even shorts, but just in that short time frame, it's like, I don't even want to look at that video. Like, I wasn't smiling in the video. It was horrible.
No, nowhere to go but up. I don't know that anybody starts off at the beginning and really has it exactly like they're going to want it.
Right.
Down the road. I did want to say hi to Don Ray B. I didn't realize you were here. So thank you for being here today. And let's see, where would you like your channel to go? What do you dream about for your channel? Hey, y'all, look, she's drinking from the official RichKatRanch mug. At least that was the first iteration of the official RichKatRanch mug. We've since redesigned them so that, I know not everybody wants to have horses on their coffee cups, but that's the original RichKatRanch mug that has Cabo and Delilah on it. But if you could take your channel wherever you want to go, where do you see yourself in your dreams for the channel?
Well, considering I really didn't have any high expectations to begin with, it was kind of more of like a personal documentary journey kind of thing. I'm thrilled just with where we are. I mean, if we could get monetized, if we could do all that, that would be awesome. That would be fabulous. I'm a stay-at-home mom, anything helps us. So, but yeah, right now, I mean, it's just fun just watching all the other people that I have found on YouTube. Just the whole journey itself has just been fun.
Sweet. Are you on other social media?
I am not. I do have accounts on Instagram and Facebook, but I haven't been active, in years on those accounts.
Okay.
So if you look for me, you'll find me, but
won't find much there.
Right.
So does anyone help you with the channel? Do you do all of the filming and editing and stuff, or?
I do.
And what's your favorite part of the process then?
Of course, it's the very end when you post and then they start getting the views. You're like, yes.
Right? If you have to choose from among the other parts, though, thinking up a video or filming or editing or.
I do like the editing part. I've actually learned a lot. I don't want to say computer illiterate. I knew my way around. I worked in an office, but this is a whole new ball game, with editing the videos and stuff. So I've learned a whole lot. So I would say that's probably my favorite part of it, aside from the other.
Okay. And let's see. So when you were a working person, what kind of work did you do?
I worked for a collection agency. I did not collect. I was in their account. I always say that first off, even when I work there, I'm like, I'm not a collector.
Yes. Don't turn off the computer right now, guys. Don't leave the stream.
So I worked in the accounting department and was a bookkeeper. And then when I left there, I was managing the accounts payable department.
And where does your husband work?
He works for a company that makes rollers. And when I say rollers, I'm talking like a little roller, anything, printing presses, any little plastic roller you see, they produce them, they make them.
Okay. And does he work close to home?
No, he is in about an hour and 20 minutes each way.
So does he drive? How does he?
Yes. He commutes every day. Before we moved, he had a 10-minute drive. So he went from a 10-minute drive to an hour and 20-minute drive.
Oh my goodness. But has he been with the company a long time?
Yeah, he's been with them for over 20 years.
So maybe you could start selling loofahs and we'll get you monetized and see if you can help him be more full-time on the homestead.
Exactly. Yeah, it is. That's another matter of time before we pull the trigger on that one. And he does, I don't want to say retire because he's too young to retire, but take a break from what he's been doing for 20 years and look for something different, a lot closer to home. So,
right. So, I know you said you don't have a lot of animals, but did I just see you pick up a cat?
Yeah, we have, we have one cat that's ours. That's the black cat you just saw. And he stays inside. And I don't know if you've seen in my videos, there's a white cat and an orange cat. Those are actually our neighbor's cats, but they do not leave our property. They do not leave. They sleep out here. They do not leave. Everybody thinks they're our cats.
Do you feed them?
I did start feeding them when I found out that the white one was a little kitten when we first saw it. And then I found out that our neighbor tossed the kitten outside or kicked it outside because it pooped on the floor. So all of a sudden, the poor little kitten had been inside, never been outside. And here you are. Oh, just toss you out in the woods, good luck. So, of course, I felt sorry for it once I heard that and started feeding it. So we also have a lab collie mix dog. Sorry if the background noise is getting too much.
Nope.
Colton, stop, please. And we also have a ferret.
Oh, hey. So Robin at What the Flock was on the show a month or so ago. They have ferrets.
Yeah, she can have my ferret.
Robin, if you're here, there are some ferrets looking for a new home.
It's just one, and it's my husband's, and I don't care for it. I'll be quite honest.
Oh, Dawn Ray B, she's in Missouri. Ashley's place is in Missouri. How much property do you guys have?
We only have about 2 acres right now, but we are hoping to lease some property nearby in the near future to add more animals. So,
okay,
lots of upcoming plans. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
I don't have chickens. I've never raised chickens. Do you know enough to know what kind of chickens you want to get when you get chickens?
I do. My grandparents had some, but then I'm the type of person that researches like so bad it drives my husband nuts. He's like, "You're looking at that stuff again. You started that like 2 years ago." I'm like, "I know, right? But I have to know stuff." So yeah, we've been looking at the type we want, and also the goats. We're gonna be getting some goats too. So we know we want dairy goats for sure on the goats. My husband wants a fainting goat, but to me it serves no purpose. So that's gonna be we'll see how that goes on that one.
Okay. What is it about fainting goats that he wants?
He just wants them because he thinks they're cool, really.
Okay.
To be quiet, that's all he wants them for.
So if you get these animals and he still has this, 3 hours combined to and from commute, will you be the one getting up when the sun rises and going to bed when the sun sets, taking care of all of them?
It will be me. That is correct.
My point being, he doesn't get to pick what kind of goats you get then.
That was my argument exactly.
Well, so now we've heard it on YouTube that's how it's going to go. She's going to get to pick because she's going to be the one taking care of everyone. Let me get back to chat. Anyone have questions for Ashley about their property, about their plans, about their channel? And do you have any questions? Did you have questions for Brettany from when she was on? I think she's still in the chat. Any questions?
Well, I don't know how I can go second to Brettany. First off, is what I wanted to say. She was just amazing. So I'm going to have to check her out for sure.
Well, when you, though, get to the point where you've got so many animals and so much else happening, you'll have a whole lot of stuff to share and talk about and, be excited about. So.
But I was glad she was right before me and I saw her Loofah stuff because I had already ordered my Loofah seeds to start planting this next spring. So I'm super excited about that one.
Sweet. Right. Here's a question from Nina. What's your favorite part of working around the homestead?
My favorite part is just rebuilding and rehabbing anything we have outside. I'm big into, when I was in college, my major was interior design. So I'm big into the aesthetics and the look of everything. And the house and property we bought was a total gut. And we still, it's a gut. We're still working slowly but surely on it. But anything that we can do to improve what it looks like on the outside, it doesn't matter what we get to on the inside to me, or I'd rather get to the outside first because that's what everybody sees. So anytime we're improving anything on the outside of our property, whether it be building a new garden, rebuilding our porch, ripping out bushes, whatever, that's just awesome because there you go. You're one step closer and it looks a lot better.
Right. So if you want to share again exactly where in Missouri you are, I think Brettany missed that.
We're in South Central. We are about 30 minutes from Rolla. That's probably the largest city we're closest to.
I think a lot of us, if I hear Missouri, I just think of St. Louis or Branson.
Yeah, St. Louis, we are about an hour and a half from St. Louis.
Okay. And let's see if we've got any more questions here. Oh, here's a question from Jesse. Ashley, what's your favorite YouTube channel?
Of course, it's Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa.
Yeah, but I'm Ching. What a great setup there.
And my favorite jams are jams made by Lisa.
Okay, so we can all say that. I haven't even had them yet, and I can say that just by listening to what other people have to say about them once they've tried them. So let me see if we've got any other questions here. Oh, I saw Don Ray B made a comment about it. I kind of read it and thought, here's a little lesson in not researching so much. So, I researched my chickens for years. Turns out that the breed I wanted the most is my least favorite in my mixed flock. So there's a little thing to kind of file away in your head. Again, I know Robin. Definitely. I know Robin at What the Flock raises chickens too. I think she did a lot of research before she got hers. So when the time comes, obviously there's a great resource just right here among the people in the chat and our little homesteading community that can really give you the inside scoop on which breeds are the hardiest. And will you raise for meat or eggs or both?
We're going to start with just eggs, just means I don't want to get in over my head first off. But we're going to start with some egg layers. And then, yeah, I do want to do meat birds.
Okay. Did your grandparents raise meat animals?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, you said they'd slaughtered pigs and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that won't necessarily be new, except that you'll be the one taking care of doing it.
Yeah. Yes. And my husband, it's going to be interesting because my husband, well, it's okay. It's okay. My husband is a big animal lover. So not so much an animal killer. So it's already been discussed that I will probably be the one that dispatches the birds.
Okay.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Does he eat meat though?
Oh, of course. Of course.
So again, there won't be a clash there with you.
Oh, no.
Okay. No. Okay. That could be problematic. That could cause a little tension if you were raising meat animals and you were married to a vegan or a vegetarian.
I'd be like, I'm just going to do it while you're at work, so you don't have to see it.
Don't look. Yeah. Let's see. I'm guessing you mean this little backdrop here, Dancing Alone with Reynolds. And thanks for being here today, Dancing Alone with Reynolds. All right. Any other questions for Ashley? Let's see. Here's a question from Papa's Kitchen. I'm guessing that is for you because I'm not familiar with that. Are you familiar with the stivers?
I am. And that's funny that comes up because I just put all of the items in my Walmart cart to make their fire cider. Y'all don't know what fire cider is. It's something that helps with colds, clearing up your sinuses, and it takes a little bit to sit and keep it, to work, it's got to get ready. So I have all that stuff, but yes, the stivers, I love watching them.
So is that a YouTube channel?
Yes. Stivers Homestead.
Okay. That is not familiar to me. So I'll have to check that out. And lo and behold, Robin from What the Flock is in the chat now. So again, you and she can get together. You and Don Ray B can get together. A lot of people here that can help you pick out some chickens when it's time for picking out some chickens. And so am I going to end up being the only one that doesn't know what the stivers or know about the stivers? Because it looks like Nina knows about them too. There's my friend Akashi Chris from Mind Forked in the chat today. Thanks for being here today, Akashi. Any other questions for Ashley? So Philip is asking if you're in the mountains. Are there mountains there in Missouri where you are?
No, I wouldn't call them mountains. It's very hilly. It's very hilly, but there's no mountains.
Okay. Are there mountains so there's mountains in Missouri? Again, this shows what I know.
I don't think there's mountains in Missouri. Nothing that you would call like a major mountain range.
Okay. All right.
It's mostly like, it's a lot of rock. So it's more like like you're going down the highway, you've got the big, like it's rock as tall as you can see on both sides of you. Just a minute. Here, wipe it up. Wipe it up.
And Jesse has posted the link for the Stivers Homestead. So I'll obviously want to check that out too, because it looks like they're getting a good recommendation just here from the people in the chat. And so, yeah, so Robin says she knows a good bit about breeds and eggs. So you'll have a good resource there. And
yep, I will email you, Robin.
Papa's Kitchen says, I saw the Stivers live for a brief moment on Black's Tropical. Okay. I'm going to have to check them out. This is part of what's fun for me, though. When I watch people's live streams, I hope it's fun for people that watch my live streams, is that I will always find at least one channel that's new to me. Either it's someone that I see in the chat that I had not heard of before, or someone gets brought onto the panel or, is being interviewed that's new to me. And it just helps me realize, how much area we cover geographically, people all over the country, all over the world. I mean, there are homesteaders, just in my little list of channels I'm subscribed to in Australia, and I've got UK friends. I think Weave's World, I even think they might have chickens, so I never would think of him as a homesteader, but there's different degrees of that. I don't really think of myself as a homesteader. We raise ducks and geese for eggs, but we don't raise any meat animals right now. I grow garden stuff every now and then, but I haven't had a legitimate garden since we got the ducks and geese, because I haven't figured out how to keep them out of it yet. So that was a disaster. The couple of years that we tried to have a nice garden. Thank you for that compliment, Papa's Kitchen. And let me just see again. Anyone? Okay, here's a little tidbit from Jesse, because I think someone had asked about the Ozark Mountains. The Ozarks, also known as the Ozark Mountains or Ozark Plateau, is a physiographic region in the U.S. states of Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and the extreme southeastern corner of Kansas. So it must have been Dawn Ray B that was asking about the Ozarks. Oh yeah, I'm going to feel really geographically illiterate here if you start.
Yeah, that is true. I guess living here, I just don't consider it a mountain range. I know it is, I guess, technically a mountain range, but to me, a mountain range is, Colorado. It's got to be big.
Yeah, and that's what I think of when I think of mountains, because we have lots of hills and stuff here too. Now we do have the Davis Mountains down in South Texas, out toward El Paso. That I think those are really mountains, but they still are not mountains like the Rocky Mountains are.
Right.
They're just mountains compared to the little like hill country hills that we have not far from RichKatRanch. All right. Looking to see if there are any other questions. So your turn though, Ashley. Do you have questions? Do you have questions for anything in the chat? Any other questions for Brettany? Any questions for me?
Well, I haven't been able to see the chat for some reason. It just keeps disappearing off my phone every time I try to get in it. I think like if I want to see the chat, then I can't see us. Like it puts a cloud over it. So okay. I'll have to go back and rewatch the live.
Yeah. And then you can post a comment on the bottom if somebody asks something that we missed.
But I will definitely be hitting up the 2 channels regarding the chickens for sure.
Oh yeah.
I think I already have Robin's email.
Okay. Might be some fun little collaboration opportunities for you guys to get together and brainstorm about starting a flock. Since you don't have a flock yet, that might be kind of fun to get with a couple of channels and maybe even record a video of you guys going through the list and picking out some chickens, and then we'll obviously want to see coverage of that when you get to that point. When you're ready to
definitely
your homestead, then we're going to want to see that happening. I know you have had a project going on inside the house that obviously is not going to be finished anytime really soon, right?
No, we've got many projects. I filmed the kitchen. Our back room literally is subfloor. It's down to the subfloor. So we're walking on subfloor in one of our back living rooms. And it's, it's a never ending process. We'll get there though. So in due time.
Oh yeah. So here's Nina saying that you should turn the tables and ask Jesse who his favorite channel is.
Oh, that's right. I'll have to wait till he's on a live and then ask him in the chat.
That's right.
And see what he says.
Put him on the spot. Yep. Let's see how that goes.
Because I think first off, he's going to say Danny.
Oh, maybe so.
It's going to be Danny days, of course. Yes.
Maybe so. It might depend on who else has a live going on that day or something.
Very true. Very true.
All right. So let's see. Oh, here's a little note from Brettany. CNC Farm, if you have any questions about growing loofahs, feel free to ask. Same for anyone else. I would be happy to answer. Very, very generous of you, Brettany. That's very nice. Because I think that sounds, anyway, like it would be a fun thing to grow. Obviously, a lot that you can do with it. I don't know. I know you said they can be eaten. I don't think I've ever eaten anything with loofah in it. I know Papa's Kitchen made a comment about it sort of being an acquired taste. So maybe the different species of loofahs are, some are probably better for eating than others. I really think that's cool that you guys can get seeds from her, because why reinvent the wheel? If you're really looking into growing loofahs to use the way she's using loofahs, why wouldn't you automatically want to just get started with something that is a good species? So, but very, very generous.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to order some seeds from her too, just to see, you never know. Mine might not turn out. So I'm confident hers are good seeds. So.
Right. Yeah. So again, why reinvent the wheel? Let me put your link back up right quick. And I'm sure Jesse has dropped that link in the chat. And as always, I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank you again, Ashley, for being here. Please check out her channel. A lot of fun content, and obviously a lot of fun content to come. I kind of feel like we're getting in on the beginning of a homesteading journey with you. So you are Roundup, preparing and adding animals, and that'll be fun, especially for anyone that might be inspired to start a homestead. It's funny. So I hear him, and I'm remembering that when my kids were little. So my motto when the kids were little, I had 4 kids in 5 years, and I learned to live by the motto that if there's no blood and no screaming, and the difference in screaming. So there's the hollering and stuff, but if there's no blood and no screaming, everything is fine. So whatever else I hear.
He's pulling everything out of the freezer, and he pulled out something frozen and it fell on his foot. So I'm not really sure what.
Okay. Maybe there's a little lesson in there then. I'm thinking back to when the kids were little. I remember one time very vividly. The boys were jumping on the bed in their bedroom, and I was in another room, but I could hear them jumping on the bed, and I hollered to them, "You boys better stop jumping on the bed." And I was walking toward the bedroom as I said it, and I could hear them whispering really loudly, but saying, "How did she know we were jumping on the bed?" And I thought, wow, so they don't realize I can hear, even though I don't see them. Yep. And then another time, the girls were little, and they had gotten into my nail polish, and they were painting each other's fingernails, and they had not asked me if that was allowed. And I could smell the nail polish from the kitchen or wherever I was. So I hollered and said, "You girls better get out of my nail polish." And I could hear them doing that same thing. "How did she know we were in her nail polish?" So they've all grown up to tell me now. They totally get it. So now that they're the parents, and they realize, oh, that's right. Yeah, I can hear that the girls are getting into this, or the boys are getting into this. And now they get it. So, but at the time, they really did think I had eyes in the back of my head. And so, again, no blood, no screaming. Everything is fine.
Exactly.
Thank you, Akashi, for the super chat. Thank you so much for that. This is mind-boggling to me. So let's see. All right. So that's Ashley's link. I do want to remind you guys about some of the exciting things we have coming up here at our channel. So our 12 Days of Halloween begins on the 20th. We'll have a live stream on Thursday next week coming up, and that's when I'll spin to get the movie titles. And my plan is that just the first movie that comes up will be the movie for the night of the 20th. And then the next movie will be for the night of the 21st. So if you don't know about our 12 Days of Halloween, please go to my channel. I've got a little video up there that sort of explains what's going to be happening. We thought we would give this a try. We've had a lot of fun with our movie nights. On the channel, we did one on, I think, a Thursday night and one on a Saturday night. So we're still experimenting a little bit with the monthly movie night. It's a free event. You don't have to download anything. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to sign in when you get there. And we just watch a movie together online. So we watched Greenland with Gerard Butler this past Saturday. I loved that movie. I don't know. I know Nina was there. I loved it. I mean, I like that kind of sci-fi stuff too, but it was more of a thriller movie because these people have to stay alive. So we won't be doing a monthly movie, obviously, again for a while because we're doing our 12 Days of Halloween. But I would love to see you guys for the live when we do our spinning, because this is a new thing for us. And where it's free for everyone. It's open to everyone. Here's a little story from Pawpaw's Kitchen. I told my son, 3 at the time, he was going to fall off the bed from jumping. He did, then told me, well, you told me, like it was my fault. I guess if you hadn't mentioned it, it wouldn't have happened. Is that what his point was? That's funny. Which that just reminds me of all the times the kids were little and doing something dangerous. And I would ask them, are you trying to break your neck? That's just on that list of silly movies. So yeah, so Dr. Lund was with us on Saturday also. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great movie. The acting was great. The story was great. The visual effects were great. So it was a good movie. I'm going to let you go unless you have some questions, or I don't see any other questions coming in from the chat. And then I'll just go over a few more things to wrap up the stream for today.
Yep. You have a great weekend, and I thank you again for having me on here. I really appreciate it.
You're so
I will promote one thing while I'm on here. I am hosting a cookie collab for Christmas. It's going to be called the 12 Days of Cookies.
Okay.
And
yes.
that is going to roll out on December 1st. So it's going to be hashtag 12 Days of Cookies. So you guys have to check that out. We've got lots of great channels and lots of great recipes already coming in. So I'm excited.
Do you have a video up that just gives the scoop on that?
Not yet. I was kind of waiting until the November collabs put theirs out because I didn't want to step on any toes. You know, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then once the November people get all their collabs out in there, then I was going to put something out about ours. So
fun. I'm gonna have to think of a collab. I haven't thought of a collab yet, and I know that's a fun thing to do. So I'll be looking for that. I do like making cookies, so that'll be one I'm gonna want to do.
Yes.
Sweet, good. Well, again, thank you for taking time to be on the show with me today. Please check out Ashley's channel. This is CNC Farm. Watch some videos. Always remember you've got to watch a video of at least 3 minutes before you subscribe so that subscription will stick. And it's also advisable to, when you watch a video, like it and leave a comment. Again, before you subscribe. This is part of how the whole YouTube machine can pick out the real people from the bots and the bot subscriptions and things like that. So check out Ashley. I want to see her numbers go up. Oh, I was going to pull up that spreadsheet again so we can look at where you are right now. Actually, I can pull up your page and we can see.
They've actually, I posted a random short of the cat that's not even our cat, and it got like 7,000 views. So I just started posting in the last week some shorts with these cats that aren't even our cats, and I've gotten a bunch more subscribers and all that. So I'm gonna just Keep going.
Animal videos, I think, will forever be huge on all social media platforms. Cat videos do seem to be very, very popular, and people like them. What did you say your black cat's name is, though?
Luna.
Luna. Because we have a black cat, too. His name is Brutus. He's like a big Maine Coon mix cat. Yeah, so here's Ashley's page right now. She's at 247 subscribers. So the 500 mark is what we want to shoot for. I'd love to see you get your community tab. I feel like you would have some fun with that and could keep us posted on upcoming projects and such with that. So please check out her channel. Give her some likes, subscribe, leave comments, all the things that we can do for each other that don't cost us anything. They don't take a lot of time. And they are absolutely the best way to grow a channel and support each other. All right. So I think that's it. Again, I'm going to let you go, and we'll be watching your numbers. So you're on my little spreadsheet now, and we'll keep up with how things are growing for you, and have a wonderful weekend there as well.
Thank you, Kathy. See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So I'm going to pull up my little spreadsheet again, just so I can, again, let you guys know who I have coming up on the screen. So next week, 2 guests again on next week's show, John from Home Bartending with John, and Dr. Lund from Psychology Noir with Dr. Lund. So I will share some videos on my community page so that you guys can sort of get to know them ahead of time. I know Dr. Lund said she might even be creating like a little promo thing for her channel subscribers and viewers to let them know she's going to be on the show. I think that's a great idea, because that gives her viewers, the heads up that she's going to be interviewed. And obviously it's almost a little shout out for my channel as well, so that maybe we can have some new viewers on my channel as well. So I'll be watching for that. I can tell you that as of today, John at Bartending with John had 150 subscribers, and Dr. Lund had 367 subscribers. I see 1 million pumpkins in the chat today. Thank you for being here. And it looks like we're still having trouble getting back and forth with each other in an email, 1 million pumpkins. So I'm going to put my email address in the chat here. Super simple, RichKatRanch@yahoo.com. Oops. If I can type it. And if you'll send me an email, I still would love to talk with you about maybe getting you on the show. So check that out. Again, Papa's Kitchen, I want you to check your email for me. And we'll go on now with, after next week when we have John and Dr. Lund on the show, one of my UK friends, Adam Sky, will be my guest on the 21st. That is scheduled to be a 2-interview show again at this point. But that's going to be dependent on whether or not Amanda at Bare Bones Living can work out some logistics things with the kids and getting them where they need to be. That's kind of a busy time of day for her. So if she's not on the show, that's okay. We can schedule another day for her to be on the show. And that might be the day that I do the virtual interview with Dawn Ray B. So I see you in the chat today, Dawn. So if something changes and we can actually get you live on a show, we can totally do that as well. So that's what we've got planned so far for the 21st. The following week, I'm considering that my Halloween roundup, just because it's the Friday just before the holiday. And I think it's very fitting. I will have Dino from the Late Late Horror Show on that day. Now, Dino has, as of a couple of nights ago, he just crossed over the 89,000 subscriber mark. So lots of fun things there. A great community. Again, 2 kinds of people, I think. You either love old time radio, you've listened to it, you love it, or you've never listened to it, so you don't know that you're going to love it. So I invite you to check that out. There's an overnight stream every night with some great, great classic old radio shows. Now, they're not horror shows. This is old detective stuff, Sam Spade and Johnny Dollar. And then there's the mystery type stuff, the CBS Radio Mystery Theater. Just a lot of stuff that you probably will realize you've heard of it, but maybe you haven't actually had the opportunity to sit down and listen to any of it. So I don't remember what the stream might be for tonight. I can probably find that and post that link for you guys, because, you know, it's not like you have to come in and stay the whole 12 hours for the stream, but it's just a really fun and engaged group of people that meets in the chat there every day. So let me just get you that link right quick. Give me 1 second here. I guess I could have had that pulled up already. I knew I was going to share the channel with you again. So tonight is going to be, today's the 7th. All right. So tonight, here's the link for tonight's stream. As we get closer to Halloween, the streams will focus on old time radio shows that are a little more spooky and maybe a little bit scary. But, you know, these again are from these, typically these are older shows, so they're not going to be as graphic as the stuff that might be produced today. But there's the link. That link that I just posted is for tonight's overnight stream. Hey, Carpenter Self-Reliance, how are you? So after the Halloween Rich Cat Ranch Roundup on the 28th with Dino, I'll have Jen from Good Times Homestead with Jen and Steve as my guest on the 4th of November. And then Fat Ninja DM will be my guest on the 11th of November. There's always a possibility that those will turn into 2 interview shows. Again, I'm always waiting for some emails to come back to me after I have contacted a channel to see if they might like to be on the show. And then I have finally got it set up for the 18th of November. Peter Tragos from Lawyer You Know will be my guest that day. So this is the big channel. I think he's like at 139,000 subscribers right now. He lives in Tampa. They were spared the worst of Hurricane Ian, but great information there. I ran into him, quote unquote, on YouTube during the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. He's one of the attorneys that was offering legal analysis of the proceedings. So you learn a lot. He's a very good teacher. He's just a very real guy. So we also have a great time in his live streams when he does live streams to cover current cases. And at any given point, it's probably fair to say that he's covering 4 or 5 cases for us. That I know takes a lot of time because he is a full-time attorney there in the Tampa area. So if you haven't checked out Lawyer You Know on YouTube, check that out. Be watching. He usually has a live stream or 2 every day just to give us updates. Most recently, I know we've talked about this Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell case that's going on. And then this wacky case with the Daryl Brooks guy that's representing himself, the guy that drove his car into a parade and killed a bunch of people. And he's been deemed mentally sound, but wow, I don't know how that's possible. So Peter is great at giving some very unbiased insight about just, again, the court system and the legal processes involved in trials, and then sort of his take on the testimony and you know, litigants and stuff. So it's really interesting. I never thought I would be that interested, but I've learned a lot, and I have a completely different perception of lawyers now because of him and his channel. So I invite you to check that out before he is on the show that day, so that if you're here, you'll have questions for him. And I think that is all I wanted to share for today. Again, we're really hoping we'll see lots of you for at least some of the movies during our 12 days of Halloween. And I hope I'll see lots of you when I spin the wheel live on Thursday, this coming Thursday, the 13th. And let me get back to chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. All right. As always, I thank you for being here today. I thank you for every view you give me on any of our videos. I thank those that did super chats today. That's mind-boggling to me. Thank you for that. Those that are new, if this was your first time to be here in my chat, I am really tickled to see you here in the chat today. If you haven't given the stream a like, I will ask that you give us a like, because all those likes and all the comments and all the engagement in the chat are part of what the YouTube machine uses to determine if they're going to recommend videos from a particular channel or a particular video from a channel in other people's lists of recommended videos. You know, when you first get on YouTube, there's that whole page full of stuff that they think you're going to want to watch. So part of how they determine what to put there is just by how much interest there was in a channel or videos on that channel. So I do have lots of content to share. Always have ideas in the works. I'm always filming here. So, which only means for me that it means I've got days and days and days of editing to do. I like it, okay, but it's just really time consuming. So I appreciate everybody that watches. I appreciate everyone that comes to my live streams. Please check each other's channels out. Please check out the channels on my little spreadsheet here, because I like watching those numbers go up. If you'd like to be on the show, please send me a note and let me know that you'd like to be on the show. Again, I've got spots where we can do 2 interview shows coming up here in the next 3 or 4 weeks. And then as we get closer to the end of the year, the schedule starts opening up and we can get you set up so that you can just introduce yourself to some new folks. Anyway, be blessed. Love to all from RichKatRanch. I'll see you guys on Thursday for the spinning of the Halloween wheel. And then I'll look for you all next Friday for the next RichKatRanch Roundup. Take care. Bye, guys.